Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out their website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'd be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto and Naruto Next Generation discussion. And today, I want to talk to you guys about another fan theory that was brought to me by one of my patrons over on the Naruto Explain Patreon Discord server that I thought would offer a bit of a fun discussion that would actually be pretty ironic when we really sit down and look at what's being suggested here. So now that we know that Boruto Chapter 81, which comes out in a few weeks, will be the start of the Boruto time skip, one of my patrons dropped a few ideas on the future of Kawaki's character, and one of them we discussed yesterday focused on the very foul idea of Kawaki literally becoming Himawari's Jonin sensei and using Himawari to turn against Boruto to lure him out of hiding. But this one takes things to a completely different level of disrespect. This Boruto fan theory believes that Kawaki isn't going to just be taking Boruto's identity as Naruto's son as a result of the shinjutsu, but he's also going to be living out Boruto's dream by becoming a member of the Anbu Black Ops, and their reasoning is really quite simple. The Anbu Black Ops will allow Kawaki to separate himself from the public and use the Anbu Black Ops as a way to hunt down Boruto outside the village on his own time without any worry of being bogged down with team mission requirements as a member of Team 7. And given that the Anbu Black Ops' whole purpose is to hunt down rogue ninjas who leave the village and kill them, it gives Kawaki the perfect cover to track down Boruto and Sasuke. That wouldn't be a red flag to anyone in the village who hears that Naruto's son says he wants to join the Anbu, in particular after his father's been, quote, killed and his sensei is assisting the person who, quote, killed Naruto. And this is because everyone's memories of Boruto and Kawaki, they've now been switched. They believe Kawaki's the one who had the dream of being the Shadow Hokage like Sasuke and protecting the village from the shadows. The idea of him joining the Anbu Black Ops, that feels like the next natural step. So much so that for a time in the fandom, you have people thinking that this would be the route that Boruto goes, but in universe, again, the idea of Kawaki being Naruto's son and wanting revenge because Boruto killed his father and his sensei is betraying the village by helping Naruto's killer escape, the justification is there to where nobody would bat an eye at Kawaki. Strategically, this gives Kawaki more of the resources needed to monitor not just what goes on inside of Konoha, but also all the resources to start looking outside the village for Boruto. And given that the Five Nations share intel, there's enough there for Kawaki to realistically begin monitoring for any signs Boruto is still on the continent and begin tracking him down. Narratively, this would line up well because Sasuke said when they were leaving that the trackers from Konoha wouldn't stop searching for them even if Ada wasn't assisting them using her Senrigan. Kawaki going down this path, it offers a few options because the methods of tracking available to the Anbu Black Ops will be a great benefit to him when it comes to looking for Boruto or for putting himself in the best position to attack Boruto when he does return to Konoha. The irony of all this would simply be from the fact that Kawaki hasn't shown any real interest in anything shinobi related outside of the combat aspects, yet when you look at how the Anbu Black Ops typically conduct themselves, that would be something that appeals to Kawaki because the same moral conducts and standards that shinobi tend to follow, they aren't followed to this exact same degree in the Anbu Black Ops. On Anbu missions, you're more likely to be on the type of missions where there's no hesitation to kill the target. It's kill or be killed. As we saw a few times in the Boruto anime, Kawaki is more in line with this type of thinking because of the way that he's been brought up. When the Funato clan became a problem, Kawaki's natural instincts were, let's kill the members of the Funato clan who we interact with, more than once telling Boruto to wake up to the reality of the situation, going so far as to say that the Funato, they might be scum, but even scum have reasons for the things that they do, including killing innocent people for their ideology. Telling Boruto that at the end of the day, there will be situations where it's kill or be killed, and when people choose a side, they have to be more than aware and comfortable with the fact that death is going to be the likely outcome for them. They don't always have the luxury of talking things out to find their best common ground and hash things out. When the conflict reached the stance of actually being in a war, we saw Kawaki outright disgusted with Boruto for still trying to read the hearts of his enemy and find that mutual understanding to resolve things in a peaceful manner. We saw in the Himawari Academy arc that Kawaki, when he had to use restraint due to how unnatural that whole concept is for him, it made Kawaki make a lot of mistakes. It wasn't just being outsmarted at times because he isn't a proper shinobi, so he doesn't truly know how to see through deception, but instead it's because this natural impulse has been pounded into him by Jigen is to seek conflict and end conflict with overwhelming force. Going all the way back to the days when Kawaki was being smacked around by his father, who was a shinobi, the only thing Kawaki truly understands is force. Kawaki showed us more of this in the manga. He is someone who goes to the path of least resistance by removing his enemy and any obstacles that are in his way. He knew that he was going to kill Boruto, but he also knew that Naruto and Hinata would be an obstacle. Maybe not one that he, quote, couldn't handle on his own, because he clearly could, because Kawaki literally told Naruto to sit down in his own home and to shut up all in front of his wife and Naruto. He sat down and shut up and he obeyed Kawaki. If Kawaki wanted to eat the last bowl of Naruto's instant ramen from his secret ramen stash and he wanted to smack Hinata on the butt in front of Naruto and tell her to twirl around in circles, Naruto wouldn't be able to do anything about it even if he tried to. Naruto would just be sent off to meet his dead parents in the afterlife for that Uzumaki family reunion in the sky. Kawaki saw the obstacle that Naruto presented by being Hokage, as well as his own attachment to Naruto, and so he sealed Naruto and Hinata away, which gave him a clear path to Boruto, and Kawaki was proceeding to battle Boruto with the intention to kill him, and when Sarada stepped in the way, he didn't hesitate to hit her with what would have been a killing attack before Boruto saved her, with Kawaki saying that as a shinobi, it really is their destiny to just die on the battlefield against someone stronger than. When he saw the shinjutsu had been casted and what the effects were, Kawaki didn't stop and think, hey, maybe I can use this as a way to reason with Boruto and see if there's other options besides killing him. Kawaki took the cold and calculated approach. Nobody knows what happened to Naruto. They just think that, hey, Kawaki is Naruto's son, and so because that, Kawaki knows I have all the goodwill that Boruto built up inside the village, and I've got Ada with me to do everything that I tell her to. In the span of a few minutes, Kawaki had everyone believing that Boruto killed Naruto and Hinata and that he was on the run, knowing full well Boruto in this situation is going to be too confused and scared of his own power to fight against the people who he loves, and because they don't remember Boruto's being Naruto's son, all those shinobi Boruto's holding back against will be fighting with killing intent. Kawaki was playing the numbers game, a fatigued Boruto fighting several high-level shinobi with a mental nerf on top of that and a self-imposed physical nerf to not harm them. With people like Sage Mode, Mitsuki, and Sasuke going after him, someone will be able to get the drop on Boruto and ultimately kill him. It's cold-blooded to put someone in a position where they're being hunted down by the very people they grew up with, and in some cases people they were raised with, and put them in a position where one of the last faces that they'll see was the face of someone who they love actually turn around and betray them. Kawaki, in the span of only a few minutes, was able to come up with the outcome for this planned out scenario, a controlled scenario at that, showing a level of tactical foresight and adaptability of someone who belongs in the Anbu Black Ops, because this one decision shifted the odds further into the outcome that Kawaki wants. It gave him the high ground on the playing field, and Kawaki was making it a point to keep pressure on Boruto. Should Kawaki take this approach of being in the Anbu, it's the last thing Boruto would ever expect. The same with Sasuke, because neither of them would think to associate Kawaki with the Anbu Black Ops. The strongest person in their mind who they would have to think about with the Anbu is Sai, and while Sai isn't a weakling, he isn't someone who Boruto and Sasuke would be staying up at night worrying about his location, because they won't be going, oh my god, there's a puddle of ink on the ground, better make sure it isn't Sai and his Anbu Black Ops. You have an easier time convincing me that Adam 22 isn't worried that Lena has a melanated baby growing inside of her stomach after that black porn star cream pied inside of her on camera, or that the Dallas Cowboys this season could be anything other than the poster child for being con artists of the year by making their legion of fans actually believe they have a shot at winning the Super Bowl when it's been so long since they won a Super Super Bowl, you gotta get pictures of the game off of a floppy disk, which that's like a super long time as a side note, because like there's some of you guys who don't even know what a floppy disk is, and you gotta actually Google to see what it was. Kawaki joining the Anbu Black Ops also puts him in a position to track down any leads on code as well. The only reason I think that this might be an entertaining option to look at is we have to consider the way that Kawaki's likely going to react when he learns that Ada is refusing to use her Sharingan to track down Boruto. He's not going to be too pleased with that, and this at the very least gives him a bit of a way to work around from this, especially as Boruto learns to better mask his chakra. And based off of what we've seen, Boruto and Kawaki, they can sense each other even when they're masking their chakra, but when there's a considerable amount of distance, it appears to be harder for them to actually track the other. That being said, I'm so curious to know what you guys' thoughts on this Boruto fan theory is. While you think that over, click here to watch these other Naruto explain videos, and be on the lookout for my How Strong is Boruto at the end of Boruto Part 1 video, which is dropping soon.